5 people entered a remote forest in Cambodia, 4 men and 1 woman. They were searching for a site locals called the Place of Connection, believed to hold ancient spiritual energy. They never came back. No calls, no signs, no bodies. But 5 years later, one of them was found wandering the streets, barefoot, silent, and with no memory of who he was. This is what happened to the 5 Cambodian hikers who disappeared without a trace. On December 29, 2017, a group set out to explore a rarely visited area of the Cardamom Mountains in Cambodia. The group consisted of 2 couples and a male tour guide. They were all experienced hikers and they had maps, water, and the right gear. But they soon realized that reaching their destination would be more challenging than anticipated. The first warning came from the locals who told them to turn back. Some said the forest was cursed. Others believed it was protected by malevolent spirits. The hikers ignored these warnings and ventured deeper into the jungle. On January 4, 2018, they sent a text message to their families letting them know they had reached their destination, the Place of Connection. The message was the last contact anyone would have with the group. When they didn't return at the expected time, their families reported them missing to the authorities. A search was launched, but after 3 days of combing the area, nothing was found. Helicopters flew overhead. Villagers joined the hunt, but there was no sign of the missing hikers. There was no evidence of a struggle. It was as if they had vanished into thin air. Days turned into months, and the search effort slowly came to a halt. Some people believed that the group had crossed into another realm or dimension, while others feared foul play or a natural disaster. The case was eventually classified as a disappearance, and the families of the victims were left with more questions than answers. Then, 5 years later, a man was spotted walking aimlessly through the streets of a Cambodian town. He was thin, barefoot, and confused. Locals called the police, and when they examined his fingerprints, they discovered the truth. It was one of the 5 missing hikers. But he had no memory of the forest, the expedition, or the people he was with. He was taken to a hospital where doctors diagnosed him with dissociative amnesia. This condition is often triggered by extreme stress or trauma and can cause a person to forget important parts of their life. But what could have caused such a traumatic event in the isolated jungle? Was he held captive? Did he survive alone in the wilderness? The man couldn't remember anything. Some villagers came forward and said they saw strange lights in the jungle around the time the group disappeared. Others spoke of a jungle spirit that protects sacred ground from outsiders. While there are many theories, no one knows what really happened in those 5 years. The forest keeps its secrets, and the man who returned lives quietly now, far from the jungle, still searching for answers he may never find. This is one of Cambodia's most haunting modern mysteries. If you want to hear more real-life disappearances, survival stories, and unexplained events, subscribe and check out the next video on my channel.